What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Figure It Out of the Basement's Black Series talk show. I'm Nate, joined with Justin.
What's up, guys?
And today it's time for another Black Series retrospective. Today we're moving on to 2016.
Yep.
This is continuing our video sub-series where we're covering the entire history of the Black Series.
That is right, Nate. So we have covered 2013, 2014, 2015, and we are finally here in 2016, deep in the trenches of the Dark Ages.
Oh.
However, in this installment, there is a little glimmer of hope. There is a little glimmer of hope. However, we did miss a couple things. We try our absolute best to make sure this is an all-encompassing, highly detailed video series, but we are going to miss some things, but we'll always go back and catch up on the next installment.
Okay.
So we do have two things from 2015 that we missed out on that we will now cover here on this episode. So hit like, subscribe if you are new. Nate, I know you have never heard of the first thing that we missed.
Yeah.
And you literally just took a look at on our monitor over here.
Yeah, this was news to me. So the first item we missed was from 2015, and this is a Chewbacca 2-pack gift set for Hasbro employees. There was 400 of these made, and as you can see from the images on screen, it is an unpainted Chewbacca and a painted Chewbacca.
Yes, specifically the Force Awakens version. Once upon a time, there was a eBay listing for it was either 15,000 or 19,000, like a buy it now listing. So some jaded Hasbro employee out there was like, I'm going to sell my set. I don't know if that ever, was a successful sale, but I know the listing existed at one point. So we have no idea what this set is worth. I mean, it's 400 of a kind, so it's kind of hard to gauge the price on that.
Yeah, little cool nugget of Black Series history, but I'm like, really? Chewbacca? That's the character you landed on?
Right.
Figure they would have maybe done something a little bit more monumental, but yeah, it was just like a commemorative set for the release of the Force Awakens product. So, I mean, it is cool, but at the same time, I hope no one paid $15,000 for this set.
Right, yeah. Another huge thing, this one is actually huge, that we missed, because it's one of our favorite things in the line.
I can't believe we forgot this.
I think it's because when I think of 2015 exclusives, I just think of Red and Black Box. But we missed the Shadow Squadron set that was exclusive to Target. This set retailed for $49.99 and is now worth $122.49. I actually got this set a few years ago at one of our favorite local toy shops. It was about that price, maybe $110, $120. I recently got my first work bonus.
Yeah.
So that's why I went a little crazy and picked that up. But it's honestly a great set.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is probably the one and only time Justin and I have ever actually purchased something significantly above the original retail price, but that is because at the time this thing was impossible to find.
Oh yes.
We were collecting back then. Never saw this at any of our local Targets at all. This was also back when Target really didn't do online pre-orders either.
Right.
So you had to be boots on the ground and be lucky enough to find this set, because even I ended up, I spent about $100 on it loose, no package.
Yeah.
So
yeah, mine was full package, and it comes with this little insert background thing,
it's like
a Rancor style.
Yeah, but it's like a random image because it's the Falcon in the Death Star bay, and I'm like, but
some EU Legends person is gonna explain why they chose that image in the comments. But I love that they used the Sandtrooper helmet for the Shadow Stormtrooper. It's the only instance of them ever reusing that Sandtrooper helmet on something that isn't a Sandtrooper. So the proportions are just so good on that helmet. The Scout Trooper is great as well. I love the blue, the navy blue accents on the flight suit and the visor.
Yeah,
it's just so good. The vehicle, the speeder, cool.
Yeah, this is one that also is kind of, sort of currently rumored to maybe be getting a re-release.
Truth.
And that would be awesome to see. But if that doesn't happen, this one gets the out of the basement stamp of it's okay to spend a little extra money to get this one in your collection.
This is straight up a Grail item for us. And I feel like we've never really talked about like what our Grails were, because we have everything we want now. So there's no like Grails that we're currently trying to get.
Right.
Maybe the SDCC Thrawn set fits the bill.
Yeah, I'd probably say that's the only one.
But we haven't really talked about like our Grails when we were on the come up of Black Series collecting, and that is certainly one of our Black Series Grails.
And now, Justin, let's jump back into 2016. We're in the red and black box era still. This is going to be Wave 5 we're covering today. These figures still retailed for $19.99, and they are as follows. Jango Fett, number 15, Justin.
Let's go.
15 figures it took to get Jango Fett. We also have number 16, the First Order Flame Trooper. Number 17, Finn. This is the FN2187 version. We also have number 18, which is Force Awakens Han Solo. And then a refresh of number 6, which is Captain Phasma.
Yeah, so the theme of this episode is like a glimmer of hope.
Yeah.
Because at the time, this Jango Fett like blew our socks off. It was just such a sigh of relief, a breath of fresh air to get a non-sequel trilogy character in the Black Series. Because if you guys have been following, Red and Black Box up until this point has been nothing but ST, like Force Awakens specifically. And you'll see the rest of this wave is also ST figures. So we got Jango and then right back to ST. But it was just so cool to finally get like a non-Disney figure in the red and black box. This was the first one. I remember us finding this wave at Walmart.
Yep.
So hype.
At the same time as the very elusive Marvel Legends Venom. I remember that being a very, very expensive trip to Walmart because we were like, oh my God, they had everything at the time that we were looking for. And yeah, of course, Jango Fett is not a good figure now.
It is possibly the worst sculpt in the entire line.
It's pretty bad. Those little tiny baby feet that he has just do no favors because the figure is so top heavy. Mine throughout the years and even to this day, he just loves to topple forward. He loves to topple backwards. Whichever way I want to have him posed, and I think, oh, I'm safe now.
His elbow articulation might be worse than the old Clone Trooper body. Like the 2013 clone body.
I mean, it's definitely on that original First Order Stormtrooper status of, it's a single joint, but it's an obtuse angle.
Yeah.
Now, there is a small saving grace, and that is, it does have quite a bit of paint on it. I think
there's like a wash on it.
The figure looks pretty good. It's just the articulation is horrible. The figure does not stand. And let's talk about that Jango Fett face.
Dude, the eyebrows on the pre-photoreal figures are so pronounced and thick.
It's so bad.
I'm like, man, such an ugly, ugly figure. I suppose you are right that it visually looks nice. There's like a dark wash. Like, I always forget how there's a dark wash on the armor bits and everything. I mean, you get the 2 blaster pistols, a removable helmet. At the time, I liked it.
Oh, yeah. At the time, I was like, this is a great figure.
But this genuinely ended up being one of, if not the worst sculpts in the entire line.
Yep.
And that says something because this was like our glimmer of hope. Back in the day. I just remember that pure hype of finally getting like a non-Disney figure in the red and black box line. But little did we know, we'd be going right back to sequel trilogy because the other figures in this wave. So the next one was the First Order Flame Trooper, currently worth $10.69.
Yeah, which, by the way, Jango is worth $35.56 currently.
Yeah, it's like the first red and black box figure to actually have a retail or a aftermarket value above retail.
Yeah, hey, look
that
at that.
Might be true. Fact check us.
I'm pretty sure that's accurate.
Yeah, but the First Order Flame Trooper, I remember enjoying this figure as well. This is one that I purged when I went through my ST purge phase and I got rid of a lot of my ST figures. I remember liking it though, because I thought it was kind of unique, kind of cool, kind of different.
It's big and bulky, but you can get the trooper into the, holding the flamethrower with both hands, like down at his waist. So it serves its purpose. It's slightly better than like the First Order trooper, but yeah, this is one that I also do not have this figure anymore.
Right. The movie came out and there's one shot of it too. So we played into that a bit because we purchased a lot of these figures before the movie. So I was disappointed by that.
Yeah.
It's kind of just I mean, it's fine. I'm not going to dog on it. I'm not going to hate on it. I mean, we're 2016. We're still in the Dark Ages. For the Dark Ages, it's fine.
Yep.
There's much worse to be found in the Dark Ages.
Absolutely. And speaking of much worse, let's move on to Finn FN2187, which is a figure that, could have been great. A nice moment in The Force Awakens. Love the, beginning of Finn as a stormtrooper, and he has the blood on the mask, but it's still on that First Order stormtrooper body.
Yeah,
so
I thought the head for Finn looked better than number 1.
It's still the same sculpt, so I'm going to say that it's still trash because the sculpt itself is not good. It does not look like John Boyega.
Yeah. I remember when I had this figure, I somehow thought it looked better. Maybe the paint apps or
maybe
what
the
have
paint
you.
could have been a little bit cleaner.
He does get really, really dirty in that scene on Jakku. So to just have the red blood and then it's just the stark white clean. And this was a period where they actually painted the figures, so I would have actually expected paint and weathering on the figure. It is kind of a cool little novelty to have the helmet with the 3, the handprint of blood.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really do anything for me.
No, not really. And this one actually is currently on average worth about $14.93.
There you go. And lastly, we have Han Solo, number 18. This one is worth about $11.66. This was a figure that I also had. Did you have this one?
Yeah.
It was decent.
Yeah, for the time, the head sculpt was actually pretty good. They feel like they did a decent job with Old Man Han. I think the main issue with this, at least the original version, was that he had like blonde hair, like light brown hair, which is just not like what Han Solo looks like in The Force Awakens. He very obviously has gray hair.
Yeah.
So it was like a weird old but kind of young looking Han. And it was a fine figure. I still think it is a fine figure. Of course, the archive version of this, which has a brand new head sculpt on it.
Right.
And is
miles better.
Not worth too much more than this one. So it's just like, you might as well get that one if you're trying to get one of these.
Oh, yeah. If you're trying to get Old Man Han, go for the archive for sure. It's like one of the few instances of new tooling involved with archive. But yeah, I did pick this one up because at the time I was super hyped on Force Awakens. I didn't really start my anti-ST arc until The Last Jedi. Up until then, I was actually fully on board with the sequel trilogy. I was fully on board with Force Awakens.
Oh, yeah.
So hyped. But those other 2 movies just totally ruined the entire thing for me. And I can't even go back and watch Force Awakens anymore. So I did end up selling all of these. I think Ivan bought my Han.
Oh, hey.
Probably right before the archive came out, but it served its purpose when I was enjoying that era. So, I mean, yeah, the figures are bad, but some of these are actually decent. That's why I'm saying, like, a little glimmer of hope in the Black Series at this point in time. And the next wave, Wave 6, there's, like, a handful of non-sequel trilogy figures. Like, there's, like, some Rebels stuff. So I'm actually really excited for the next wave.
And then, like we also mentioned, there was just a refresh of Captain Phasma.
Yeah.
Nothing significant, nothing different, just same old Phasma.
Yeah, this really just highlights how many refreshes they did in those early red and black box, and they'll do even more. They'll do more than this, because we said like Finn, Poe, Rey, Kylo. They got refreshed in like 3 or 4 different mainline waves.
Mm-hmm.
Just wait for Rogue One.
Oh, Rogue One is...
Just wait for Jin and Cassian.
I mean, Jin and Cassian still haunt many people's local Walgreens, local, stores all over.
So if you thought we were past the worst, brace for impact, because we're not there yet.
Yeah, true. That is definitely true.
I do really find these episodes enjoyable, though. Mm-hmm. Even though, like, I don't... Aside from Django, I don't own any of these anymore. But I just like taking a look back. And we look back at those Walmart trips, looking back at these figures that are forgotten to time for so many people. I wouldn't be surprised if there are new collectors who just never even knew these existed.
Right.
And we just like talking toys.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, even though we're in the dark ages, I actually don't mind making these videos. They're fun. They're a fun time.
It's always nice to look back, especially when we were actively collecting and feverishly trying to purchase these figures. Because, like you said, when Force Awakens came out, we were hyped on it. I saw Force Awakens like 6 or 7 times in the theater.
Same.
And so when I was seeing these, I was, I gotta have this one. I gotta have this one. And then, Last Jedi happens. But unlike you, I personally can still find plenty of enjoyment out of Force Awakens as kind of like a dumb, silly, just a Star Wars movie. You like if I was at someone's house or something and it was on in the back, okay, that's cool. There it is.
It's a background at your friend's house movie.
There you go. And so that is all we have for you on this week's episode of Figure It Out. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like. Subscribe if you are new. We're always talking about Star Wars, the Black Series here on the channel. And if you are in a position to help support us directly, we do also offer a couple different channel membership tiers. You should definitely check those out in the links down below in the description. We do have to give a big special shout out to all of our current channel members. Your continued support is truly appreciated. And thank you to everyone else out there for watching. I'm Nate. I've been joined with Justin.
See you guys later.
And we will see you all next time on Out of the Basement. Wouldn't that be sick if I just ripped that out?